What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about why the Batman Series 5 is one of the smartest NFT launches VEVE could do right now. Before we do this, if you enjoyed this video then consider dropping a like and subscribing if you're new around here. So I'm actually personally really excited about seeing Batman Black and White Series 5. You know, if you actually look at the overall scope of the pitch that VEVE are trying to paint right now, I think that delivery of product is one of the biggest problems they have within the VEVE application. If you've been involved with any of the launches and seen the demand that happens within these launches, you know, it does cause a lot of problems for the actual overall delivery of product. And we saw that recently within the Dragon Girl launch, but we've seen it pretty much across the board. Now, I think the reason why it's important to talk about this is that, you know, Batman Black and White Series 5, you know, if we look at Batman as a whole, we've already seen it, so it's not going to cause too many new users to influx the application because, you know, a lot of the initial hype around the Black and White series has already happened. However, one of the important things to remember and consider is that there are already a lot of established collectors within the application that want this Black and White series. They want to go on to collect the Master Series of Batman Black and White. So when you look at the overall scope, you know, this launch is perfect. And it also synergizes with the first Season 1 launch that we had. You know, Season 1 was the initial launch of Black and White Batman. And now we've got this launch, which is the first launch in Season 2. So I think there's some synergy within that. And the other point I want to make here as well is that the fact that we have 250,000 sort of application downloads right now, you know, we don't want VEVE to sort of destroy the reputation and brand by not being able to facilitate and deliver the products in a professional and seamless way. And having Batman Black and White is just a perfect example of them being able to sort of facilitate the already internal demand while being able to iron out the problems. And, you know, it's DC. What isn't there to love about another Batman launch? I mean, I know I've read some comments about sort of not really being too hyped and excited about this, but, you know, what other NFT collectible out there right now, or NFT creator out there right now, is releasing brands of this magnitude? You know, I'm more than happy to continue to collect Batman. So I think this is a really cool launch, and I thought what we could also take a look into really is sort of my justification around why Batman will continue to be such a big and staple part of VEVE's sort of overall journey within this NFT collectible space. Because if we go through and have a look here, Batman has generated $21 billion in merchandise sales and retail sales over its span within its since its inception and creation. Now, this is an important point to keep in mind, especially when you see what VEVE do when they keep releasing sort of Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, Series 4, Series 5. This is why I believe we're seeing this, is because, you know, Batman through history has had a very sustained level of growth when you consider its retail sales, and their fan base continues to collect their merchandise and collectibles sort of religiously for long periods of time. And we can see this within the statistics when we have a look of the breakdown of this 21 billion. If you have a look over time, you know, their merchandise sales over 2013 to 2018 has continued to grow year on year, with 2013 being 494 billion, then 578 billion, 982, million, 578 million, 982 million, 1.1 billion, just highlighting and sort of pushing that point forward to you guys that, you know, Batman is a huge staple within DC. It is one of, or if not the most successful superhero of all time. So when we see VEVE release these sort of multiple series within their Black and White range, I think it's important for us to remember sort of why they do this. Not only to not overload the application, but to also facilitate the already huge demand that Batman has. And let's not forget about this. You know, sometimes you can get yourself sort of not worn out. I think worn out's the wrong word, but you feel like you might be overexposed to a collectible. But we have to remember that, you know, look at the brands that are being launched into VEVE right now. It's absolutely incredible. So to see another DC range and to see DC want to continue to launch their Batman memorabilia or merchandise into the VEVE application, into a Series 5, just goes to show how happy they are with the current positioning that VEVE have done within their brand and within the delivery of their products as of right now. So we have to remember this. You know, when we look at the licensee owners, the overall professional edge that VEVE are doing in terms of delivery of product, or trying to continue to improve their delivery of product, can't be understated, because if they thought their brand was being damaged, we wouldn't be seeing a Series 5. We wouldn't have seen a Series 2. So I think this is an important point to remember, is that the licensee owner has the overall say about about who brings or what they bring into this marketplace. And to see them continue to stick around with them and seeing this continued growth within the merchandise of Batman, and to see them continue to release more series, it's actually a really positive thing. And we need to remember this when we look at the overall picture of what VEVE are painting overall. The other thing I want to touch upon here is maybe potentially what we may see. So I found this on the DC website. They have a full black and white collectible statue range, if you weren't sure and weren't aware of this. So this is what we're seeing being released into the VEVE application currently. So I've got two pictures here just to sort of have a look at the different NFTs. We've already seen Risso here up at the top. And I just thought I'd just show this to sort of give you an idea about potentially what we might see moving forward within the application. But, you know, look, it's really exciting. I mean, there's so many cool different figures that you can see. My personal favourite I'd like to see is the one right here, this Batman right here. I think that'd be really cool. I love the design. And also this here looks really, really awesome. So, but obviously we can't know exactly what's going to be launched just yet. We will do within the coming days, so I'm not going to speculate too much about what's actually going to be released, because no one really knows. But it's nice to sort of have a general look and a general overview about the potential that we could see in the pipeline. Another thing I want to touch upon here as well is sort of the black and white series from an investment standpoint. Now, I'm not giving people financial advice, but what I am going to do is sort of show you how successful the sort of Series 1, 2, Series 3 and Series 4 has been from an overall investment standpoint as well. Because as you can see, the general overview or the general feel here is that it appreciates in value. Now, if you're an investor of anything, that's obviously great. Seeing any sort of appreciation in investment is amazing. And to see what the Series 1, 2, 3 and 4 have already done, and essentially how they've already sold out immediately. You know, if you look, they've already sold nearly 75,000 units. And so when you look at this from a demand perspective, you know, the demand is super high for this Batman range. And it also then reflects in the overall aftermarket, the secondary market, in that appreciation in value, because there are more people that want the collectible than there was available within the launch. And now that's why you see a push within price within these collectibles, is that sort of the demand outweighs the supply. So people bid against each other to be able to get the collectible and to add it to their master collections. And I want to touch upon that quickly as well. I think this Batman Black and White, the overall master series across all the series they launch, is going to be one of the largest and most extensive series launches we see within VEVE, within the current VEVE climate we're in right now within the marketplace. Now, the reason I say this is because there are so many left to be launched. If you look at the range, there's so many left to be launched. If we believe that we could see all of these being introduced and maybe get to like a Series 10 or Series 11, Series 12, this is going to be an incredibly large and I would say very difficult range to collect long term. If you think we're already at Series 4, and some of the prices are ranging into the thousands, or the closing in on the thousands for the ultra rares, and even for some of the rares already going into the sort of $200 range. If you think about the long-term scope of this collectible, this is going to be hard to collect long term. You know, if you think what it's going to be like when we see a Series 10 and we get to the point where every single statue has been released, you know, this is going to be hard to get hold of. You know, because remember, as the user base increases, as we go from, you know, hit 1 million, 2 million, 3 million users, there are going to be a lot of other DC fans that are coming into this, and they're going to see this for the first time and go, wow, I want this. And they're going to go on to try and collect this whole range. Excuse me. And when you look at if you look at the total minted, and I had an interesting conversation yesterday with someone, and I think he made a really, really solid point about as the overall marketplace of VEVE grow, you know, that he believes that Batman's going to go on to be the #1. Now, we had a little bit of debate, but the point behind it is he made a very valid point. There are a ton of Batman fans out there, and if you consider the influx that we could see coming into this application, you can see how this could drive the prices of this series up, and how hard it's going to be going to be to attain long term. So I thought we'd sort of touch upon that from an overall sort of investment standpoint as well. It looks like a great proposition and a great overall collectible series. So I want to say thank you for watching this video. That's where I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you've learned something from this and that it sort of makes sense to you what I'm saying. Look, this is I know for some people this may not be the launch they wanted, but I believe it's the launch VEVE needed to do. So thank you for watching this. If you enjoyed it, please consider dropping a like, subscribing if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.